Hi guys, MrRoflWaffles here. Last week I made a video about one of the Call of Duty Twitter accounts tweeting out the following about the upcoming Black Ops 3 Zombies DLC. They said, hard to infiltrate and even harder to escape, what is inside Griffin Castle? So that means that Griffin Castle is the name of the castle in the Zombies universe, that is, or rather one of the Zombies universes, that we're going to be playing in and exploring in Der Eisendrache. Now it's important to note that castle in real life isn't Griffin Castle. It's Hohenwerfer Castle upon which the map is based, but I digress. A couple of hours ago, that same Call of Duty Twitter account tweeted out the following with a GIF of the map. They said the following: 50% bigger than the Giant. Der Eisendrache is available with Black Ops 3 Awakening on February 2nd. Get your season pass now. At first look, that might not seem particularly strange. They're relating the size of the map to a previous map, and that's something that's certainly happened in the past. But the interesting thing is that they're saying it's 50% bigger than the Giant. Not than Shadows of Evil, which is supposedly the biggest map to date in terms of actual playable space, but rather, instead they're relating it to the Giant, which is obviously related to Der Riese, it's the same floor plan, and this map is only 50% bigger. So that means that Der Eisendrache is potentially going to be a very, very small map compared to the stuff we are used to. Think of Black Ops 2. Transit, map on disk. Bloody huge, absolutely massive. Then you've got maps like Die Rise, Buried, Mob of the Dead, Origins. These maps, what is the common theme amongst all of them? They're all pretty damn large. In Origins, there's a tank to let you get around the place because it takes so damn long running through the mud. Things like this are implemented to make more of the map accessible to the player at any given time. And in this upcoming map, we have what looks like a transport system as well in the form of the gondola. There is a cable car, a ski lift, that appears to be usable by the player that will take us down to the village sort of area surrounding the castle. But maybe that's not going to be accessible, and instead, we're only really going to be stuck within the castle, and the map is indeed going to only be 50% bigger than Der Riese, than the Giant. Now, I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts in the comments as to whether you like this idea or not really idea, but whether you like this feature of the map, this design decision. It's been so long since we had a small map. You have to go back to Black Ops 1 and think about maps like Shangri-La, really, to get an idea of that kind of feel of sort of narrowness and really being enclosed. Maps like that, in the present day at least, are few and far between. Like I said, Shadows is one of the biggest maps to date, and so it seems like next gen, they're not doing stuff on old gen anymore, this is an opportunity for them to expand and make everything bigger and better. But maybe they're not going to just push the boat out completely in that direction, and instead they're saying, you know what, this map would work better if it was a little smaller than some of the more recent stuff we have released, and so, as a result of that, we're going to make it a little smaller. Maybe that's what's going on here. I think that if this benefits the map in terms of fun that can be had within it, if this means that overall the map is a better product for us to consume and enjoy, then I'm by all means behind it. I think that this is a brilliant decision. If, however, it's for some other weird reason, like, I don't know, I can't really think of why they would make a small map other than maybe being pressed for time, maybe they want to spend more time working on other DLC, I don't know. It's pretty pointless speculating about it because we have no idea what's going on at Treyarch in the minds of people like Jason Blundell and the team working on the game. But I think that if this is being done for the right reasons, then I can only support it, really. I'm happy to play a small map. I don't mind. I really don't mind. Der Riese is my favorite map. Out of all of the Zombies maps, Der Riese is my favorite. And so it should be clear from that, in my opinion at least, you don't need to have a massive map to have a fun map. You just need one that, in terms of gameplay, in terms of features, is enjoyable for the player. It's rewarding when good stuff happens, it's punishing when the player makes a mistake, and so the player just comes back to it again and again to try and beat their score, or to try and do something new, or to try a new challenge out. Maps that offer lots of replayability in those ways, without being absolutely mind-numbingly large, like Transit. I mean, Transit has so much room. It's too spacious, the map is vacuous, it's bloody huge. And I think that a smaller map would actually do the community some good. In fact, it could be quite fun to see people's reactions, having been sort of on this kilter of bigger and bigger and bigger maps and grander and grander and grander designs, to suddenly go off the rails a little and go, you know what, guys? Here's a slightly smaller map for you to enjoy. So, in summary, I am not against this at all. I think that a small map can be a perfectly fun map, and that's evidenced by the fact that Doriz is just perfect in pretty much every way. It's so good. So as long as Treyarch are putting as much passion and effort into their work as they have done with all their other projects, then I'm going to be a happy bunny. I've been MrRoflWaffles. Let me know your thoughts in the comments like I mentioned. I do want to hear your thoughts on this because some people are responding and saying, what, 50% bigger than the Giant? That's way too small. But I think that would be fine. Honestly, I think that they could make that work. If you think about the design of the Giant, it's, well, you've got sort of 2 side lanes and 1 central lane. So in terms of size, I think that this would be like them taking those side lanes, those side teleporters without any of the central space, and doubling them, making another 2. That seems like a rough 50% increase, because I reckon the central lane has enough playable space for that to be around 50%, and then the 2 side lanes probably make up their own 50% as well. So, in my opinion, that could be a perfectly fun map. Thinking about a map like Kino really is pretty damn small. In fact, if you ignore the outside area, Kino is just a little ring, really. It's really quite a small map, and Kino is one of the fan favorites as well, just like Doriz is, and so I really do think that this isn't necessarily a bad thing. Anyway, I've been MrRoflWaffles. This has just been some brief Der Eisendrache news. Finally, just to wrap things up, I'm going to ask you a question that actually came up recently in my degree. I'm studying a physics degree, as you guys know. It's exam season right now, so I'm working crazy hard on those. But one of the things that came up in one of my lab sessions is the following. It's a question that I pose to you now, and I recommend you answer in the comments down below in the small window of time I'll give you to do so, that is as follows. When you're scuba diving, right, you've got all your scuba gear on, you've got your wetsuit. Why do scuba divers fall backwards off the boat? Do you have any idea? If you do, leave a comment in the comments down below. Pause the video now, go on, and leave a comment. Young Milo here didn't know the answer to the question, so I went and asked one of my professors. We had a special relativity lecture. We were doing some Lorentz transformations, and so due to the similarity of the topics, I thought it would be fitting to ask why this phenomena was a thing. Why do scuba divers fall backwards off the boat? And they said, well, the reason is because if they fell forwards, they would still be on the boat. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.